Good evening. This is the presentation called How do IT investment interact with other organizational resources to improve innovation performance? The evidence from the Colombian manufacturing industry between 2009 and 2017. This research was developed by Luis Antonio Orozco, John Sanabria, Juan Camilo Sosa, Jamie Aristizábal, and Liliana Lopez from the Universidad Externado de Colombia. Previous research in manufacturing industry in Colombia show us that the investment on research and development, in fact, the creation of departments to perform research and development, the human capital, and also the interorganizational networks, especially with academy, improve the innovation outcomes. The research problem in terms of organizational resources, the so-called basic resource to innovation, was that we need a more integrative approach to combine several measures on innovation. The objective ones that take into account the intellectual property rights, and the second one using surveys that take into account the perception of the entrepreneurs in terms of their consideration about the results of their efforts on innovation. They consider that there are new products or processes or resources and so on. But we make it a main question in terms of digital technologies and how it can improve or not innovation results as a resource to be promoted in the combination with the other ones to increase their fair capacity to innovate. So the evidence show us that the investment and the capacities on information and communication technologies have a strong and positive impact on innovation results, as can be seen in developed economies like Canada, Germany, Italy, but also in emerging markets like China, Lebanon, and South Africa. But all this research rely on surveys and subjective nature of innovation. In terms of the studies developed in the US manufacturing industry, there are not conclusive results. One study shows us that the increase on IT investment just improved the innovation output, but there are other studies that found that IT investment did not have a direct impact on innovation outcomes. All these studies use patents as a dependent variable in the objective measures. Then the IT investment in general have several applications. So it's important to organize the investment in terms of the type of technologies and their innovation. For example, the email and other communication systems doesn't have a strong impact on innovation results. The investment on enterprise resource planning, in fact, are not good to innovation activities. The investment on software specialized on innovation like computer assisted design or computer assisted manufacturing have a strong impact on innovation, and the software that create a relationship and improve the communication with customers, the development of websites, e-commerce, systems of e-commerce, just to support innovation activities. Moreover, Robert Solow many years ago proposed that the investment on computers doesn't have an impact on the productivity. This the Solon paradox give us also a question in terms of if this phenomena happens in productivity, what happens on innovation. So the investment on digital technologies, it can produce better performance on innovation, or just show no direct results. So we rely our research on the resource-based view of the firm and the approach of dynamic capabilities to ask the question of how the investment on information and communication technologies it's a resource that can substitute or complement other innovation resources, as was researched before, like skilled labor, research and development units, and also the participation of interorganizational networks, especially with the academy. The literature shows that innovation is a good engine to promote innovation. It improves communication, sharing ideas, and so on. But the socio-technical system and the cultural and lack the idea and support that the investment on information and communication technologies today does not seem innovation or improvements tomorrow. Give us the idea that we need time to see the effects on information, the IT investment, and the results on innovation over time. So we propose in hypothesis one that over time IT investments have a positive relationship on innovation outputs. In terms of human capital, the literature give also support to propose that IT investment and skilled labor complement each other through a positive interaction, improving the innovation outcomes over time. In terms of research and development, the literature also showed that this activity complement the investment in IT and improve the results of innovation. And finally, the literature also gives us support to propose that the complementarity between the investment on information technologies and the development of networks due to the capacity to manage more relationships. Then the methodology consists in a panel data from 5 editions on the National Survey of Innovation in Colombia. We selected a sample of 392 companies that appears in the 5 periods, and we performed an analysis using a dependent variable as the sum of all intellectual property rights, patents, copyrights, trademarks, software, and so on, and including some of the products and services reported as an innovation outcome by the entrepreneurs in the survey. The dependent variables consist on the amount invested in information technologies, the number of master degrees and PhD in the firms as a skilled labor, the research and development activities in terms of having a department, one if the firm report this unit and 0 otherwise, and the number of contracts in terms of interorganizational networks, especially university-industry relationships. And size, it was organized by the number of employees and the industry using one to long-term technologies and for more high-tech technologies in the manufacturing industry classification. So this is the main results. The hypothesis, the evaluation of the hypothesis show us that the IT investment did not improve innovation outcomes over time. It appears to have improvements, but not increasing during the periods studied in the sample. And then also it's important to highlight that the basic results to innovate skilled labor, research and development units, and organizational networks are stronger predictors than the investment in information and communication technologies to increase innovation. The hypothesis, to contrary as we expected, suggests that the investment in IT is a substitute for skilled labor. And hypothesis 3, we found a good interaction, a positive interaction with the research and development units and the IT investment over time. And finally, in the hypothesis 4, we must reject it due to the innovation capabilities do not create over time a strong and positive relationship that increase the investment while increasing the number of interorganizational relationships. So the main conclusion is that IT improve innovation, but not during the period of time studies, that over time and not replace the basic resources to innovate. The second one is that IT could be replaced skilled labor. This means, especially in the realm and in the context of the fourth industrial revolution, that the use of system with artificial intelligence and machine learning could be replaced. Not only they get behind the phone with chatbots, but also skilled labor that can attend, for example, physicians or lawyers, several activities in the organizations. And in terms of the research and development, is expected to have a good interaction, the investment on information communication technology to improve the capacity to make investment on science, technology, and results on innovation. And finally, probably in terms of interorganizational networks, they could be a invert shape relationship between the number of relationship and performance. We need more research to prove it. Finally, the digital transformation is a big challenge due to the pandemic COVID-19. So in terms of the combination of resources due to the crisis and the challenge to increase and speed, the speed we need to the digital transformation in the organization to create innovations. These preliminary results are indicative, and we believe that this start point to discuss how IT investment improve or not, or what is the better combination of resources to improve innovation need to be developed with more cases in other contexts using several measures, not only patents, but also surveys are combined to provide a more broad approach to understand better the combination of resources and the strategic decisions in the organization, using not only the information before pandemic, but also what is going to happen in this challenging time. So thank you to ACIEK Academy, and we at the University External of Colombia, very glad to share our result with you. Many thanks. You can write to this email for comments and suggestions. Thanks.